These are the names of the sons of Israel who went to Egypt with Jacob along with their families: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, Benjamin, Dan and Naphtali, Gad and Asher. Now, Jacob's family numbered 70 in all, with Joseph already in Egypt. Then Joseph and all of his brothers and all of that generation died. But the Israelites had been exceedingly fruitful. They multiplied greatly, increased abundantly, and became so numerous, the whole land was filled with Israelites. Then a new king came into power in Egypt, who did not know about Joseph. "Look," he said to his people, "the Israelites are becoming much too numerous for us. Come, we must deal shrewdly with them, or they will become even more numerous, and if war breaks out, could join our enemies and fight against us, leave the country." And so they put slave masters over them to oppress them with forced labor. They built Pithom and Ramses as store cities for Pharaoh, but the more they were oppressed, the more they multiplied and spread. So the Egyptians came to dread the Israelites and worked them ruthlessly. They made their lives bitter with harsh labor in brick and mortar and all kinds of work in the fields. In all their harsh labor, the Egyptians worked them ruthlessly. Then the king of Egypt called the midwives, whose names were Shiphrah and Puah, and said to them, "When you assist the Hebrew women in childbirth and observe them at delivery, if it is a boy baby, kill him. But if it is a girl, you may let her live." Now, the midwives feared God and did not do what the king of Egypt had commanded them. They let the boys live. So the people increased and grew. And Pharaoh summoned the midwives and said to them, "Why have you done this? Why have you let the boys live?" Midwives answered Pharaoh, "Hebrew women are not like Egyptian women. They are vigorous and give birth before the midwives arrive." So the people increased. And because the midwives feared God, God gave them families of their own. Then the king of Egypt gave this command to all of his people: "Every boy baby born to the Hebrews you must throw into the Nile, but let every girl baby live." Now, there was a man of the house of Levi who married a Levite woman. She became pregnant and gave birth to a son. And when she saw that he was a fine child, she hid him for 3 months. But when she could hide him no longer, she got a papyrus basket for him and coated it with bitumen and pitch. She placed the baby in it and put it among the reeds along the banks of the Nile. His sister stood at a distance to see what would happen to him. Now, Pharaoh's daughter came down to the Nile to bathe, and her attendants walked along the riverbank. She saw the basket and sent her maidservant to get it for her. When she opened it, she saw the babe, and he was crying inconsolably. She took pity on him. "This must be one of the Hebrew babies," she said. And then his sister asked Pharaoh's daughter, "Shall I go and get one of the Hebrew women to nurse him for you?" "Yes, go," she answered. And so the girl went and got the baby's mother. Pharaoh's daughter said to her, "Take this child and nurse him for me, and I will pay you wages." And so she took the baby home and nursed him. And when the child grew older, she took him back to Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her child. She named him Moses, saying, "I drew him out of the water."